The story begins with a man we'll call the Lost Man. He's staring at his phone, completely lost in it, when suddenly a baby starts to cry. Loud, sharp. A man nearby snaps. He yells angrily at the baby's mother, but no one reacts. No one even looks up. Not the passengers, not the mother, not even the lost man. His phone rings. It's a woman calling. He hesitates, then ignores it. Moments later, he steps off the train. The phone rings again. This time, he answers. On the other end, the woman sounds tense. She says she's at the hospital and that she's pregnant with his child. It's his ex, asking him to take responsibility. The lost man freezes. The shock hits him like a wave. His phone slips. Crashes to the floor. He picks it up slowly, breathing heavy. His asthma kicks in. The woman starts to say something about what she's decided, but her voice breaks up and then the call drops. Now he's walking down a long white corridor. It's quiet, too quiet. He keeps walking until something feels familiar. He's seen this hallway before. He keeps going, once, twice, and suddenly realizes he's stuck, trapped in a loop. He keeps walking anyway. Then someone's behind him. A man standing perfectly still, smiling wide. The lost man flinches. Then he runs. But no matter how far he goes, he's still in the same hallway. He turns back. The smiling man is still there. He tries talking to him, no answer. He slams his hand on the fire hydrant button. Tries the doors, nothing works. Then blood. It seeps out from behind a poster, drips down from the exit 8 sign. The lost man stumbles back, terrified. The number on the sign flickers, then changes to 1. He sees a small sign with hallway rules. If an anomaly appears, turn back. If all seems normal, keep walking forward. He decides to move on, tries to calm himself, feels safe again, not realizing the light above him has started to flicker. When he reaches the end, the number changes once more, back to 0. Now he pulls out his phone. He takes pictures of everything, the posters, the doors, the exit 8 sign, anything that might help him survive, hoping it'll help him spot any anomalies more easily. As he keeps walking, the number changes again, back to 1. He takes a cautious step forward, but something's wrong. All the photos he took, every single one, turns yellow. The images fade, their colors drained. He can't rely on them anymore. He has no choice now. He forces himself to memorize everything, every poster, every door, the shape of the exit 8 sign. Then he feels it. Someone's behind him. He turns. The walking man is there again. Same wide smile, but this time he moves, step by step, following the lost man through the corridor. Fear takes over. The lost man hurries forward. The number flickers. Now it reads 2. The hallway feels calm again. The air still, silent. No flickering lights, no blood, no sound. Almost too peaceful. He reaches the end, then hears it. A baby crying. The sound echoes faintly, coming from inside a small locker. Hesitantly, he reaches for the handle, opens it. What he sees inside makes his breath catch. He stumbles back, horrified. In an instant, the entire corridor bleeds red. Panicked, he runs as the baby's cry distorts into something monstrous. Behind him, the number changes again, from 2 to 3. He continues his search for anomalies, moving carefully, scanning every inch of the corridor. Something feels strange, but he brushes it aside and keeps going. As he stops to take a puff from his inhaler, his eyes widen. Every poster on the wall is staring straight at him, heart pounding. The lost man forces himself to keep walking. The number on the wall shifts again to 4. He presses on. The hallway looks normal now. Quiet, clean, empty. Then the number changes once more. 5. Everything still feels calm. Almost too calm. Until his phone rings. It's her, the woman from before. Her voice trembles. She says she doesn't know what to do about the baby's future. The lost man can't find the words. His voice fades as he talks about what happened on the train. The man shouting at the mother holding her crying baby. He regrets not stepping in, regrets being a coward. And that same cowardice now makes him feel unworthy to be a father. Just as he's about to move forward again, she appears, his ex, standing there in front of him. He doesn't even realize what he's seeing. The number flickers again, back to 0. Everything around him begins to twist, the hallway pulsing with a strange energy. This is the anomaly. Suddenly, the entire corridor turns yellow. The lights, the walls, everything washed in a sickly hue. In the middle of it, the lost man collapses to his knees, furious, broken, filled with regret for all his foolish choices and cowardice. He clenches his fists, takes a deep breath, and forces himself to stand. He walks again. The number changes, 1. Then, just ahead, he sees it. A small child standing in the center of the corridor. An anomaly, he thinks. He turns back, but this time the number doesn't move to 2. It resets again to 0. The child begins to follow him quietly at first, then suddenly runs forward and point straight toward the walking man. The story now shifts its focus to the walking man before he became a permanent entity trapped inside this place. Back then, the walking man and the child were just as lost as the lost man himself, wandering endlessly through the exit 8 corridor. But unlike them, there was someone else here too, a young woman, another presence, another soul caught in the same loop. The child never spoke, no matter how many times the walking man tried asking. Silent, still, empty. The number on the wall flickered, 5. As they continued forward, the woman walking, this strange, calm figure, invited the walking man to search for anomalies with her. At first, everything seemed normal until she started acting strangely. Her tone shifted, her eyes went blank, and then she said it, softly, almost laughing. "We're already dead? This is hell." The walking man froze in terror, but she suddenly smiled and said, "Relax, I'm only joking." They start moving again, step by step, but then she stops dead in her tracks. "There's a man," she whispers, "an older man, walking from the end of the hall." Then she turns to him, smirking now, teasing, "Maybe we should just stay here. Hell isn't down there. Hell is gonna work every day." The walking man forces a nervous smile, uncertain whether to laugh or run. Then she stops again. Her eyes glaze over, and as he shakes her shoulder, trying to wake her, she begins repeating the same words over and over in a trembling voice. The walking man suddenly realizes he's the anomaly. Panicked, he grabs the child's hand and rushes back the way they came. The number on the wall shifts again, 6. They enter the next corridor. Everything looks normal, too normal, but then the child stops, staring at one of the doors, frozen. The walking man urges him to keep moving, unaware that this door, the one the child is fixated on, is the anomaly itself. They push forward anyway, and the number resets again, 0. Frustration boils over. The walking man kicks the floor, stomps on the tutorial board, shouting in anger. He turns to the child, guilt washing over him. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you." Together, they decide to start over. As they continue down the corridor again, something new appears, a staircase leading upward, glowing faintly at the end of the hall. The walking man's eyes light up, an exit. Finally, he starts running toward it, hope driving every step, but the child pulls back, shaking his head. He knows, it's an anomaly. The walking man doesn't care anymore. He pushes the child aside and takes that first step toward the staircase, determined to leave no matter the cost. The child continues the journey alone. The number shifts, 1. He walks forward again and soon comes across the walking man, but this time the man doesn't react. He doesn't even look at the child. He just keeps walking like a ghost on a set path, now fully consumed by the corridor. The number flickers back to 0. The child presses on, moving through the silent hallway until he meets the lost man. At first, the lost man mistakes him for an anomaly and tries to avoid him, but when the child quietly follows, he realizes this boy isn't part of the loop. He's real. Eventually, they decide to continue together. As they walk, the child senses something off in the corridor, but the lost man, unaware of it, insists on moving forward. The number stays locked at 0. They keep going. This time, the lost man begins to notice something odd about the posters, tiny differences he can't explain. The child remains certain of what he feels, and the lost man chooses to trust him. The number shifts, 1. They move on, but once again, the lost man fails to notice the anomaly hiding in plain sight. The child stops suddenly, standing in front of a closed door. There, it's the anomaly. They turn back the way they came. In the next corridor, the lights begin to flicker, then go dark. The lost man turns on his phone's flashlight, its beam cutting through the shadows. A loud clang echoes through the silence. A vent cover crashes to the floor. Then a strange noise follows. The lost man's breathing quickens. He hears it clearly now, a baby crying somewhere in the dark, and as he slowly raises his light, he sees it. They turn back, but this time something scurries after them, strange, twitching rats crawling along the floor. The number shifts again, 3. In the next hallway, a shadow stands in the center, the silhouette of the lost man's ex, silent, still, watching. The child's voice breaks the silence. "Mama?" It's an anomaly. He quickly pulls the child back, stopping him from getting closer. The shadow doesn't move, but its presence is suffocating. The child faints in the lost man's arms. The number changes, 4. When the boy wakes, the lost man gently asks him, "How did you get separated from your mom?" For the first time, the child speaks. His voice is soft, filled with regret. "I ran away because I wanted her to care. I wanted her to look for me." The lost man goes quiet. He understands. He'd done the same thing once, hoping someone would finally notice him. Just like the boy, he never knew his father either. That silent connection settles between them, shared hurt, mirrored stories. They decide to move forward again. This time, the child notices something odd. The number 8 on the sign is upside down. An anomaly. They turn back. The number shifts, 5. Continuing, they find a door left slightly open. Curious, they peek inside and freeze. Inside is the lost man himself, sitting on the train, blank-faced, ignoring everything around him, just like at the beginning. They quietly step away and turn back again. The number changes, 6. Before moving forward, the lost man asks softly, "When we get out, what's the first thing you'll do?" The child smiles. "Eat cheese pizza." The lost man thinks for a moment. "I don't know," he admits. Before they continue, the child reaches into his pocket and places a small snail shell in the lost man's hand. "For you," he says. The lost man stares at it for a long moment, then nods, and together they keep walking down the endless corridor. As always, they carefully check every corner of the corridor, when suddenly a blaring fire alarm shatters the silence. Instinct takes over. They run faster, harder, but it's too late. Everything fades. And the scene shifts. Now they're on a beach. The sound of waves replaces the alarm. The lost man stands beneath the sunlight. His ex is there too, and together they share a quiet, peaceful moment, a glimpse of happiness bound by his newfound sense of responsibility as a father. The child laughs, running toward him, holding out the same small snail shell as before. The lost man kneels down, takes it gently, and pulls the boy into a warm, genuine hug. They play together in the sand. For a moment, everything feels real, pure. The flood crashes down, sweeping them both into chaos. The lost man manages to push the child to safety, saving him from the current, but he can't save himself. Their hands slip apart. The waves take him, and just like that, he's gone. Now the boy stands alone on the shore. The world is silent, except for the soft lapping of water and the scattered remains of what once was. The number changes, 7. He takes a slow breath, steadying himself. No anomalies, no danger, just quiet. Then, with one last look behind him, the child steps forward and finally walks out of the endless, looping corridor. The lost man is still alive, barely, but alive. Breathing heavily, he forces himself back to his feet and continues forward, cautious with every step, carefully watching for anomalies in the corridor. This hallway feels different, safe, still. He keeps walking until he finally sees it. Exit 8. He steps through, and suddenly he's back in the station. Normal, familiar, people walking, the hum of trains, the sound of life returning. For the first time, everything feels real. He pulls out his phone and calls his ex. She's still at the hospital. He promises her, voice steady this time, that he's on his way, ready to take responsibility, ready to change, and steps onto the train. The doors close. Then it happens again. A baby starts to cry. A man nearby grows angry, shouting at the mother. The same scene, the same moment, but this time the lost man doesn't look away. He takes a deep breath and then stands up to confront the man.